Hello and welcome back to the Peak Endurance Podcast. I am your host, Ron Tate, and with me is
Isabel Tate, your secondary
second.
host,
So
your
yes, your
lower,
second
lower,
secondary
lowly,
host.
lowly secondary host. I only
Finally,
started the podcast, but that's
finally,
okay.
you've learnt your place after all this time.
Indeed.
We're back after
Look who's back.
we've finally recovered from our DOMS
Oh my
from
God.
Wandy Cross.
See, and that's why you need to train for hills.
Yes, you need to have a bit of specificity
Well
in your
done.
training. I
Excellent
nearly
work.
stumbled. Well, I did stumble. I
And
nearly
and as
failed.
coaches, we know this. It's just we were lazy. I have to be fair, kind of lost my mojo recently since my heart to heart experience and with all my many years disease and everything.
Mhm.
And you know, it's been hard for me trying to get back into it, like really hard. And
Yeah, but that I mean that's not to say we
we still
didn't get
train.
into the hills.
Yeah, we did.
I
We
mean,
just didn't train as purposefully
yeah,
as I normally would and with as much, specificity
yeah,
as I normally would.
that's a good word.
It is. Whenever I lose my mojo, I'm not one of those people that when I lose my mojo, I completely stop running because I know that my mojo will come back and I don't want it to come back and I'm like, oh shit, I've gone 2 months without training. I'm fat and I'm fit. I just keep training because I know the mojo. I do less, but
She drops her training back to a measly 100 k's a week.
that's right. Like
Yeah.
I really cut back. And then because I know eventually my mojo will come back and I don't want to be unfit and totally screwed. So
Yeah, so we were still doing our long runs were 25 to 30 k's. I mean, we were still in the hills. We were doing, one and a
yeah,
half thousand
you just
meter
weren't doing
climbs,
quite enough.
but and not steep enough. Like,
Yeah.
the Dandenongs are great. There's plenty of hills, but
We avoided
um,
them.
we we avoided the really steep ones. We did
Oh,
one trip up Glasgow and said, no, that's enough.
no way. That's shit.
Uh,
My
when
mine.
when
Meanwhile, my clients who were training for Wandy were
uh,
doing reps up Glasgow.
reality is
Bit.
Glasgow is the only suitable hill in the Dandenongs that can
Yeah.
even come
Yeah.
close to replicating what we did
Yeah.
on at the Wandy Cross.
Yeah. So
So
interesting.
yeah,
But
we were able to do it, but it wasn't pretty.
and do you know what? We can't we said it in training beforehand. Oh, it's going to be ugly when we get there, but we'll just suffer through. And
Yeah.
during the race, I said to Ron, it's different talking about suffering through it than actually suffering through it
Yeah.
because it's horrible suffering through it. But
Yeah.
I think, quite frankly, that we executed well. Like if we hadn't got lost, we would have been 20, 25 minutes faster and we would have been there in with everyone else
Yeah.
finishing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think considering, and then we
Yeah.
went out the next day and did 20 Ks with over 1,200 meters
Yeah.
climbing. And I personally, I'm a little bit proud of me.
That's right. No, it was great. And then the day after that on the Monday, we did a nice flat 10K run,
Shuffle.
shuffle,
It was
which
not
was
a run.
the most painful run of all three.
Yeah, that was the worst run.
And I think we might have done maybe 15 meters of vert.
Oh no, it was more than that because you think about it. Because on the way back we
actually.
ran into Bright. On the way back we went on this single track.
Oh,
It
of
was
course,
up and
yeah.
down, and it was like pain on the downs. I'm
Every
like,
downhill was
and they weren't
excruciating.
long, but I was pretty much having to walk them. If you
Yeah.
go and look on Strava, our pace is horrendous. Because it was pretty
Yeah.
horrible.
We were cooked. And for the next week,
Yeah,
we were.
yeah.
You know,
And there is a reason we went for that shuffle. So don't criticize us as coaches. There was a reason, and we will get into it.
that's what we're going to talk about
Yes,
today.
but first of all, we're going to talk about a couple of other things, a few
Yes.
updatey kind of
Yeah.
things. So guess what, people? We are at 292 subscribers.
Ooh, I can almost taste the double cheeseburgers now.
Ooh. And I have bought the Insta 364, the latest one, sent me back $60 bajillion, and I've already cracked the shits 300 times because I don't know how to edit and save files. So if anyone's got one and knows how to use it, can you come over, please? Email me or DM me, come over and teach me how to use it, because I'm one of those people. I learn best when someone teaches me and helps me work my way through it. But anyway, so if anyone knows,
if you don't learn in the first 5 minutes,
if I don't learn in the first 5 minutes and am an expert at it in the first 5 minutes, I crack the poos.
Yes.
So being the perfectionist that I am. Now, you know, in saying this with the YouTube, part of the reason we've gone up in numbers is because I've been posting my reels there every day. And I got this really nice comment
yes.
on one of
shows that there's wonderful humanity out there. You know, when you're really doubting, you know, the way humanity's going, it can really give you a boost on social media.
Yeah, the nice things that people say. Yeah. This one goes, absolute jump scare of a face. You should audition for horror movies.
Someone's taken time out of their
time out of his. I'm guessing he. Yeah. Out of his day.
Is there a name on it?
It was some dodgy, because he's too scared. ASD/WW4NK, obviously wink. What a fucking wanker. Like, seriously, I've got strong enough self-esteem that if someone tells me I've got a face for a horror movie, a jump scare face, I'm not going to be crying into my pillow. Like, I know I'm not saying I'm beautiful and stunning, but I know I'm not a fucking horror movie face. And I think, what a loser. He's obviously had a lot of problems getting a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
And has been rejected a few too many times. So the way he gets his power is to write those sort of comments to women and then he wants to get into an online fight with them where they go, don't say that, that's really mean. But it's true, you're fucking ugly. So I just didn't reply, because what a loser. What a loser.
Not worth responding to people like that.
I just laughed and laughed when I saw it. I thought, what a numpty.
Yeah.
Clearly nothing better to do with his life.
That's right.
But as long as he subscribed, that's the main thing.
We hope he's subscribed.
I don't know if he subscribed.
Don't care about his, you know, stupid comments. We just want him to
just to subscribe. Yes. Whatever.
And I hope he clicked like just before he sent that.
No, he didn't like it. No. He didn't like my jump scare of a face. I hadn't heard that jump scare face. Sorry, I have to swear a lot. What a fucking idiot. Imagine being so nasty that you've got to say that kind of people to try to upset people. I just don't get it. You know, I just don't get how people get off on that. But there you go. People do. People are weird. Who knew? Right. Who knew that people got brave when they were behind a keyboard?
Just have to resort to that sort of thing because that's all they have in their life.
That's pretty much all he's got. He probably goes, that's all he does, sits there going through and doing that. So I bought something new.
Yes.
What
is it? What is it?
What is it? It's this, which is Endorphix. Reality involved. Surge Skin.
Sounds super.
It's I know for all the people who are listening, you can't see it. It's this little foil pouch, and in it are these little like stick-on tattooy things that have caffeine in them. And I was like, awesome. Then I got it. It's like freaking 20 milligrams of caffeine. Like, I get that much just from smelling the coffee being made.
Yeah. So if you see Isabel running around with butterflies all over her face, that means she's.
I know, because they said you can keep putting more on. I'm like, I'm going to need like 10 of these babies stuck all over me. Like, seriously? I mean, it's got taurine, it's got D-glucuronidate, I don't know, green tea extract, which has caffeine in it, I'm sure. Vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, L-theanine, don't know that one. Vitamin B12, guarana extract, which obviously has more. So there's guarana and taurine. Then there's ginkgo biloba, rhodolia rosea, and they're all things that are meant to help you with sport. But anyway, I thought I want to try, because caffeine causes gastric distress, and I'm a sports nutritionist. I need to try these things before I, tell my clients to use them, and for me as well. But I think it's important to test these things.
Who doesn't want a bit more caffeine in there?
Yeah, we'll try that on our long run, and we'll be zipping up and down those hills, because yes, we are going to start training hills. That was a rude awakening. I have got the 3-day event in Canada in August, and the first day is 36 kilometers with about 2,300 meters climbing. So, and then I've still got 2 more days to go. So
she doesn't want to have to go through that again.
No, that was bloody horrible. So I'm going to pull my finger out, and we're actually going to get some hill training in. And we've sort of been doing, like, on the weekend we did 32 Ks on Saturday and 15 on Sunday, both with hills, not a shit ton, because Saturday, we ran out to a new client and dropped a T-shirt off. So that was kind of our run.
So
because when you join, you get a T-shirt, a Peak Endurance Coaching T-shirt.
Yeah, so we ran over the hill and down the other side, and then turned around and came back. So it wasn't, super, just short of 1,000 meters. So not super hilly, and a fair chunk of it runnable.
Yeah.
So it was just
the worst kind of hill.
But I mean, we could still tell that we were still fatigued from the week before. So although we managed to get it done, it wasn't the most comfortable run. But we got it done, and then the next day we got back out into the hills.
And I actually felt better on the 15K the next day. And then we did heavy weights again. And you've also got to remember, folks, before Wandy, we were doing heavy weights right up. We didn't taper. We didn't.
No, nothing like that.
Because it wasn't an A race, which is why we probably didn't train 100% properly. Just went through the motions. We were just doing it for fun. So, which is fine. In regards to like the caffeine and that, I am a sports nutritionist, and I do I said it. I said do. I do nutrition plans, and I've been doing quite a few recently, and a lot of my clients who had them have, run a lot faster with no other changes to anything, just they've run faster with that. And a lot of the reason I sort of wanted to touch on this is because most people, especially women, don't tend to eat enough or eat enough carbs. They're scared of carbs, and they're scared of food a little bit. Like a lot of people took up running, probably the first thing was to lose weight, which a little bit that was for me too, was to control my weight. But I'm beyond that now. I mean, I don't want to, put on weight, but I eat to fuel my running. And it was interesting. I was talking to Zoe. Zoe's one of the Peak Endurance Coaching coaches, and she just got back from High Rocks, the World Championships. And she was telling me on the plane back, she was sitting on this plane and, with 3 seats, with a spare seat in the middle and this American on the other, in the other seat. And she got this meal, this nice, chicken and rice and whatnot. And she ate it. And you know how small the they're small.
I could eat 3 of them.
Yeah, well, guess what? Correct number. She goes, and she ate it with all the rice and the veggies, and she was like, "Oh, that was good. I'm still hungry." Then she said she called what are they called? Hostess. I don't know what I politically incorrect, whatever.
Hostie.
I don't know. Called the person over, the host person, over. And said, "Oh, that was really yummy, but I'm still a bit hungry. Could I have another one?" And I was like, "Sure." So she went and got her another one. And then she ate it, and then she called the air hostess over again. She goes, "Oh, look, I'm actually still a bit hungry. Could I have another one?" And the American man goes, "Do you really think you should be giving her a 3rd meal? Can you imagine?"
Oh my God.
And the air hostess goes, "I'll give her what she wants. She can eat as many as she wants." Can you imagine him saying that? Like, goddamn rude. So she got the food, and Zoe even said, "Oh, I think you forgot the garlic bread." Oh, I did, yes. So
don't forget the garlic bread.
And so she ate 3 meals, and so Zoe didn't say much to me. She just said, "Oh, they're really good meals. You should have another one." He goes, "I don't need it." And I said, "You should have said to him, 'Yeah, I can tell looking at you.'" How fucking rude is that? Where does he get off? He doesn't know what she's doing. Hey, she is so not fat at all.
No, not at all. She's a very fit healthy looking
strong,
person.
Very fit and strong and healthy. And she won in Taipei. She won the pro women's in her age group, out of 20 women. She won. And she was at the World Champions in the pairs. So, and got top 10 with that. So, I mean, she came second at GSER Mila last year. Like, she is a fit, strong, healthy woman. And there's this man, telling her she shouldn't eat stuff.
Looking down on his nose at her for choosing to eat.
Yeah. It's a disgrace, A, that he said anything, and B, that kind of attitude even exists. If you're healthy and you're fine, then you're fine. Like if she was 300 kilos, even then he shouldn't say anything. But, because it's quite frankly, none of his business. I just had to share that because I thought that was interesting. But it just goes to show, if you need to eat, okay? You need, and she's not scared to eat. She's like me. I eat pretty much the same amount of food as you, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we dish up the same amount of food.
I sometimes can
quite often I get a little bit more halfway through the meal.
Yeah, I give you what's left of mine, but or what I can't eat.
Yeah, but certainly our meal portions are generally the same.
Generally the same.
Yeah.
Lunch you eat an extra wrap, but the same amount of food, salad and meat.
But then
breakfast I eat way more.
I don't snack through the day.
Oh yeah, I have snacks.
You do.
Yeah. So he eats an extra wrap at lunch, but I have snack, morning tea. Although I didn't today because I didn't have bloody breakfast until 10:15. So but I eat. I'm not afraid to eat. I eat half a kilo of porridge every morning with a scoop of protein powder on top, and I'm not joking. It's 500 grams in my bowl.
Yeah,
I measure it, so I know. Could even be more once I've added a little bit of extra milk. So and I am not fat by any.
If you're using the energy from the food, then there is no harm in.
And a lot of times people struggle to lose weight because they're not eating enough and their body is in starvation mode and holding on to food.
That's right. That's the classic opposite effect of what people think is.
That's right.
They think if they don't eat, then they won't put on weight, but their body's going, shit, if this is the only meal I'm getting today, I'm going to store this.
Yeah, that's right.
For all the energy I actually need.
Yeah, and we're talking, of course, healthy food. I don't eat crap.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely not.
I mean, we had an ice cream last night, but that's because it was Sunday night, treat night.
Yes, treat night.
So, and I made sure I took my lactase before that, or else it's not a treat at all.
There was a fair bit of cheese involved with dinner as well. So
I think I ate 4 lactase, 3 or 4 lactase last night, just to be sure.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, what we are here today to talk about is recovery runs.
Oh, did you want to talk about quickly the race that you signed up for next year?
Yeah, so I have gotten my mojo back. So I'm doing this race in Canada. And I got suckered in. It all started. Gather round. Let me tell you, gather around the fire. Let me tell you a story. Kelvin Yip posted before Wandy about what's everyone doing this weekend. And I said, I'm off to Wandy Cross. And some guy, David Wilson, said that he was doing the run Scotland. And I commented, let me know what it's like. I need to do something. Although we had looked at it on YouTube last couple of years ago because I wanted to do it for the 10-year anniversary of my father's death. But it looked like a bog for 100.
It looked like ankle deep bog.
And I've run in the bog before in the UK. I ended up running in my socks because my shoes were left behind in the bog. So I just thought, no, not even for my father's 10-year anniversary of his death am I going to run that. So then he suggested some other races. And one of them was the Isle of Skye race, which is 75 miles or 125 kilometres. Mm-hmm. And he said, but, you got to enter soon because it's limited to 100 people. So I, unbeknownst to Ron.
She did ask a strange question of how many kilometres is 75 miles. And
I said, is that about 125K?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah.
Then heard nothing more about it for about a week.
And then I went onto the website and had a bit of a look, and it looks freaking awesome, and it doesn't look boggy. I mean, there might be some bog, but it looks more rocky than boggy. And they have this application you've got to send in and say, you got to kind of apply. Because they only allow 100 people. They want to make sure that they're, proper mountain athletes. So, I dropped Barkley. I've been to Barkley twice. So, they said that please allow up to 72 hours to reply. So I've got to reply that within an hour or two, saying, yep, I'm in. I'm like, oh, shit. And that's what I had to tell Ron. I'm like, we're thinking of going to the UK next year. And he's like, I don't know. I said, can we kind of go towards the end of May? Why? There's a race there. 24th of May, 25th, something like that.
So, I mean, we were planning on going during the summer months. We hadn't nailed down a particular time, so I guess we have now.
So instead we're going in winter, May.
Yeah, so we might miss the week of summer in the UK.
Yeah, which would probably be late July. Yeah. But anyway, so Ron, with the patience of a saint, said, okay, go and enter. 125K, folks, just over $400.
Yeah.
$400, right? I think some of the Australian, but I think Australia is such a nanny country that the insurance is off the charts. I think that's half the problem.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, so that's that.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a beautiful race in a really nice part of the world. So, spectacular scenery.
Yeah, and last time I looked, when I entered, I went to check that my name was there, and there were already 68 people.
Okay.
So, kind of just made it.
Yeah.
So thanks, David, and I don't even know if he listens to the podcast, for letting me know about that race, and I'll catch up with you there. Well, I'll meet you there. And I think there's another Australian there doing it too.
Okay.
He said, I don't know who it is. So anyway, yeah. So yes. And so I'm thinking of maybe doing the Ultra Trail Cozzy, because I haven't done any 100Ks. And I feel like I need to do one long thing before, and one long race before. And I went onto the website, and at first I saw $960. I'm like, no, but that was for the miler. But even then, for a miler, $160. Yeah. Where are the road closures? Like Coast to Cozzy, Coast to Cozzy, 240 Ks does not cost that much, and it goes up Cozzy. Yeah. So they're dealing with the same elements, but they've got runners on the road. So their insurance would be high. That's fair enough that their insurance is high, because we're on the road. But where does Ultra Trail Cozzy get off to $960? Yeah. That's bullshit. And I saw YouTube videos of their aid stations. They go, we've got fully stocked aid stations. Yeah, chips and lollies. That is not a fully stocked aid station.
Australian fare.
That is such bullshit. Where's the proper food? Where's my burrito?
Yeah, that's right.
In America, they have proper bloody food at aid stations. Even Europe, you get pasta, proper pasta, not shit 2-minute noodles. I hate 2-minute noodles with a passion.
Even hot dogs. There was one aid station during your when you did the Switzerland, where they had hot dogs, which of course Isabel didn't want, so I went and got one myself.
Yeah, he was allowed to get one. Honestly, proper food, fucking chips and lollies. That's such you cannot. Even for 100K,
you can't fuel on chips and lollies.
Australian race directors, lazy, pull your finger out. GSR is different. I mean, Megan makes soup for it.
That's right,
and they have proper food, cheese toasties and proper vegan cheese. I'm not vegan, and I'm not really into vegan. I don't necessarily think it's the best choice, but definitely during a race, you don't want lactose.
Yeah.
And I can't have lactose anyway, but I don't think it's a good idea to be munching down on too much lactose during a race. So it's vegan cheese. They have, a variety of different things.
Soups, hash browns,
That's the only race I know of that. And I think does DU, Down Under, their main aid station.
Yeah, they have a couple, not all of them, but they have a couple.
But they have a couple that do. They have to with that race.
And Hut to Hut have 2 main aid stations that have.
Yeah, but once again, in the States, it's all aid stations. And in Europe, it's pretty much all aid stations. Except for ones like when I did that Swiss Alps one right up the top, it was remote. But even then, they were cooking stuff, and that was a pretty remote one. Anyway, so so I'm thinking of doing Ultra Trail Cozzy because it kind of fits in with that.
It's a good time-wise. It's in a good
and
spot.
It's good. Like the elevation is fairly similar.
Yeah.
So it's a similar kind of race, and I think it'll just be good prep, and it'll force me to train because I've been so freaking lazy because I don't have races. Anyway, so yes, by golly, we've been going for a while now. All right, recovery runs.
So yes, recovery runs.
What we did with that shuffle, it wasn't that we're overtraining. There was a reason for that. It was to loosen the body out, get the blood flowing, because otherwise we were a bit sore. If you just sat there, and especially with it ended up being a 5-hour drive home because of all the traffic. With a long drive home, you just get stiffer and sorer, and it's not good. So that run was to loosen things up a bit as best as we could. And I still had a rest day, but it was on Wednesday. And I did another easy run Tuesday, felt a lot better. But Wednesday, I was like, I need my rest day now. Yeah. And so I had my rest day. Thursday, I did a quality session, just a kind of more sort of a tempo run quality. Mm-hmm. But even then I struggled a little bit. But I didn't beat myself up about it. I took it,
you had what you were planning to do, which ended up being just a little bit tricky. So you just peeled it back a little bit.
I let my pace drop.
That's right.
I did it a bit slower, and just thought it is what it is because,
no use, pounding
flogging a dead horse.
if all you're going to come out of it was exhausted.
That's right. And then Saturday, like we said, legs felt heavy, but by Sunday we were great. Yeah. So recovery runs are not just there as filler runs. They're not junk miles. They actually have a purpose. I was explaining it to a client tonight that the easy runs are the glue that holds the quality sessions and the long runs all together throughout the week. The long runs build fitness. They build mitochondria, which are the powerhouses for fitness and for energy and to give you the energy to run. They allow you to recover from the quality sessions and from the long runs. If you just did quality sessions and long runs, you would have DOMs all the time. Your fitness would not increase to the level that you want it to. They are necessary.
And you're inviting injury.
Yeah, and you're inviting injury because you're not running consistently. Yeah. You're quite right. The easy recovery runs provide the consistency between sessions and long runs. They build fitness. They encourage recovery. Like, they are super, super important, but people are so quick to drop them.
They are. And they say, I'm doing an easy run, yet they're doing, they're doing their, half marathon pace or quicker.
Good point. Really good point.
When easy runs are about actually easy runs, not.
Yes, you can't enable recovery.
Not writing easy run on your Strava and
4:15 pace race, easy run.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate that.
So there's very few people in this world that can run easily at 4:15 pace. Yes. And even then, they don't do their easy runs at that pace.
Or even under 5-minute pace, right?
We've spoken about this between ourselves, like even the Kenyans who, are damn fast when they do their easy runs. They're not doing them at,
they're not doing it well, they might be, but that's because their marathon pace is 2:15 pace.
Yeah.
So to them, 4:15 would feel slow. But they're going quite a couple of minutes slower per kilometre than their marathon pace, which is what you should be doing, right? Yeah. But everyday athletes refuse to do it. They run their easy runs. Oh shit, it's going to look bad on Strava. I've got to speed up. At this sort of grey area pace. So they're not recovering. They're not building the fitness because they're actually breaking their body down. So it ends up being, and then they are junk miles, quite frankly. Then they are just kilometres for the sake of kilometres. So good point. I had forgotten about talking about that. Thank you. So easy runs, recovery runs, whatever you want to call them. There is kind of a difference. Recovery runs are even slower, which is what we did on Monday. That was a true recovery run because it was just a shuffle because, quite frankly, my body was not capable of more. And it was cold and it was all pretty horrible, quite frankly.
It was a cold morning. We wore our gloves for nearly the whole run.
Yeah. And easy runs can be a little bit faster than the recovery runs, but they should still not be fast. They're not meant to be fast. They're not tempo runs. They're not pretend tempo runs where, did an easy run, like you said, and you're smashing out these Ks trying to prove to everyone how awesome you are. Are you training to show everyone on Strava how fast you are, or are you training to be better at your race? That's what you need to ask yourself.
Yeah.
And embrace just running to feel and not looking at Strava. If you look at not looking at your watch, if you look at my Strava, you'll see some of my recovery runs easy runs are really slow. Because I might be feeling particularly sore or tired or, quite frankly, lately I've been feeling a bit sick. Although that seems to have cleared up finally.
Okay.
2.5, 3 weeks.
3 weeks after.
Finally cleared up. My breakfast doesn't make me feel sick anymore.
You might be able to start drinking coffee again.
Yeah, no, I'm drinking coffee again.
Awesome.
Fine too. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So everything seemed, but it's taken 3 weeks. To feel normal again. Except I'm not normal, so
to feel Isabel normal.
Yeah, Isabel normal. Which is totally not right. So and that's the other thing. If you're tired from work stress, or you've been a little bit under the weather like me, like not sick enough to stop, but sick enough to slow you down a bit. And like today, I did a run, and I said to Ron, I was a bit disappointed because I felt like I was sluggish, but like Ron said, we are probably still recovering. And because although you might feel okay from DOMs is basically micro tears in your muscles. So you've got to expect that doesn't instantly heal.
Yeah.
But of course, DOMs leads you to being stronger again.
And of course, it was 3 degrees as well. So
oh my God, I got the ice warning on my car before the run started.
It doesn't induce a fast run when you're when it's as near what we get to freezing.
Yes. Although it will be 2 degrees on Wednesday, and I'm teaching, so I have to run in 2 degrees, which I'm really looking forward to.
So you'll be out the door at what, 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah,
in
something
2
like
degrees.
That. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
For that joy. So I think I'll wear those gloves we bought in Canada with the little mitts on them.
Yep.
So, but anyway, and that's going to be an easy run.
Yeah.
Thank God, because God damn, I'll be doing my quality Thursday morning in the cold though.
It's still going to be cold tomorrow too. It's going to be.
But I'm not working at school tomorrow, so I can get out at 6:30 instead of that 1 hour just makes a little bit of a difference. I think mentally, not temperature.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't make a huge difference in temperature-wise at that time.
But just mentally, because I don't start in the dark and finish in the dark, I don't feel as cold. I don't know how that works, but there you go. Take your recovery runs seriously, because they're serious business. They're not there to build up your kilometers. They're not there to prove to people how awesome you are by running easy, super fast. The proof is in your racing, not in your speed sessions, not in your recovery runs, not in your long runs. I used to always lose training. I used to train with the guys, quality training sessions, and I would always come last. This is back in the day when I was fast.
Yeah.
And then we'd get to the marathon and I would always beat all of them in the marathon. Okay. So I don't know, would you prefer to win the training session, or would you prefer to be the better one at the race? Choose, because you can't have both generally.
No.
Unless you're Killian or, Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
You can't have both. So you either burn up your race in your training, or you burn up your race in your race.
Yeah. That's right.
I know for me, I always put my ego in check in my quality sessions, did what I knew I had to do, and then I was fresh and ready for race day. And that's the way it should be. You should not be feeling shattered and fatigued all the time after quality sessions, after an easy run. You should feel invigorated and I'm ready to hit that quality session tomorrow. Not absolutely. Oh shit, I'm tired, my legs are sore. No, that's not the way it should be.
That's the way you should feel after a race.
Yep. Like we did after a race. Yep. And that's fine after a race, but not after your training sessions. And the easy runs, definitely not. You should not. You should feel invigorated and refreshed and ready to get going again. And if you're not, then you need to have a serious look at your training. Contact Peak Endurance Coaching and we'll sort you out.
We will. We will get you running consistently and improving. And
getting fitter, faster, stronger, everything. And I'm not joking, people. I'm actually serious, because I see it all the time. And whether or not you choose me as your coach or Ron or Zoe, it doesn't matter, because we all use the Peak Endurance coaching methodology and philosophy that I have created. So it doesn't matter which coach you get. And I know you're listening to this going, oh, what's she advertising for? Well, you get the podcast for free. So seriously, and we give away a lot of free information. Right. I think I'm allowed to make a living. Surely, can I pay my mortgage? Is that all right?
It's the Peak Endurance podcast.
For
advertising Peak Endurance Coaching. Make the connection.
Yes, that's right. So, and I am bloody proud of the results my clients get, because they get really good results, and I am proud of it. So why shouldn't I sing it from the rooftops? Because I know what I've created works. And sure, we're not the cheapest coaching on the block, and we shouldn't be, because
we get results.
We get good results, and you get awesome coaches who actually care about you. And that's, honestly, Anyway, so enough about that. But yes, so if you're feeling like you're not ready for your race, then contact us and we can help you. Absolutely. So anything more you wanted to say about recovery runs?
No, I don't think so.
No. Das ist alles. All right. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, what are you doing with your life?
Geez, you're missing out.
You
should be suffering from FOMO.
Yeah, absolutely.
So bad.
Because if you don't follow me, how do you follow us on YouTube? How are you going to see all the nasty comments that people make about how fugly I am?
Do it for that.
Just do it just to see that. Seriously, what a bunch of wankers. Anyway, but I get that on all of the social media. I get shit comments on mainly on TikTok and YouTube. I get those kind of comments. Although I did get on Insta the woman who secondhand embarrassment from watching me run. yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get those kind of comments, you know, and I've got it relatively thick skins, you know, but obviously it does kind of hurt my feelings.
And it's designed to hurt.
It is designed to hurt.
Yeah.
There's some horrible people out there. But, you know, I've learned to just try to ignore it, you know. Because I don't know, I just don't get, I don't understand anyway. So, but yeah, follow us on YouTube if for nothing else than to see the shit horrible comments that the scum of the earth make.
Yeah.
You know, and have a bit of a laugh at it. You know,
that's it.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, it's good for nothing but a laugh.
That's it. Yep. And so we have set a date to do the run.
Yes, we have, because
we figure by then we will have surely.
Absolutely, the way it's, you know, ticking over.
Yeah. We were looking at the weekend 13th, 14th of July, which is 2 weeks before I head off to Canada. I know it's Canada. I'm just being silly.
We call it that all the time.
Yes, that's just me because I do that with words.
Well, where are Canadians from?
Yeah, Canada. That's right. Yes, so that's that weekend. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks to get 8 more. We've got 4 weeks to get 8 more subscribers. Come on. We're at mile 90.
We're going to do the run anyway because the way it's going, we'll get there.
We are doing it because we're going to get there.
Yes, but yeah, that's what I mean. We'll get there. So, but we're limited with when we can do it with Isabel going to Canada because we don't want to have to do one in Australia and one in Canada at the same time.
No, that's right. So get on it. If you keep listening to this going, oh yeah, I should do it, just bloody do it.
Yeah, just subscribe.
There is no way all of the people who are listening have subscribed. I'm telling you right now.
No, that's right.
And thank you so much to the people who have. I really, really appreciate it. Matt Fagans even said if he could subscribe twice, he would. So I appreciate that, Matt. And if you have subscribed, share one of our dumb videos, reels where we go, you know, crap. So share that or share something because we want to make this video.
That's right. We do.
Although I've got to learn how to use it. I've got 3 weeks to learn how to use the Insta.
Yeah, it's one thing to film it, it's another thing to get it to a format that can be put on YouTube.
Yes.
It doesn't happen automatically.
No, it's going to be a lot of work. And
anyone who's watched the hardest geezer lately, which we have been doing retrospectively, he's run across Africa.
Yeah. The length of Africa.
Yes, he's running the length of Africa. Which, if you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. They do a lot of there's
full-time guy doing
full-time editor. So
you know, and he knows what he's doing, and it still takes him forever, and he whinges about it.
That's right.
So I mean, I used to do a bit on Premiere Pro, and I got quite good at it when I was in Canada, living there, because I had no life and I had nothing else to do except run video and make videos. But you know, it's hard work, but it's fun once you learn it. I've just got to learn it. I just hate the whole learning process. I just want to skip the learning process and be at the expert level. We were talking about that in NLP. I'm at the consciously incompetent stage. I want to get to the unconsciously competent. But I'm currently at consciously incompetent, consciously incredibly incompetent.
And consciously frustrated.
And consciously annoyed about it. So, if you know how to, oh God, just help me, please. Because even if you've got an Insta 363, it's not the same. It's the new one. So none of the YouTube videos help because they're based on the old one. So it's really hard. So that's why. And there is a book coming out on how to use Insta 364, but it's not out yet. It's coming out the end of June.
Oh, right, okay.
So with that guy, just hurry up and finish writing it. So yes. So anyway, alrighty. Enough of me whinging and waffling. God, this has been a long one for us this time. Anyway, thanks for joining us on the Peak Endurance Podcast.
Yep.
Like, share, subscribe. Yes, we always have fun.
You have too.
Indeedy do. You know,
yeah, we'll see you on the flip side.
We will talk to you next week. Now, listen, if you've got any ideas or any thoughts about what you would like, just DM one of us, probably me, because Ron doesn't really check that sort of stuff.
No.
DM me, and I'm on Insta and Facebook, and you can DM the Peak Endurance Podcast. You can DM Isabel Tate. You can DM me at Peak Endurance Coaching. I've got so many accounts. Just make sure it's the correct Isabel one, because I've got a couple that I started and then lost the login. And so there's 6 million Instagram profiles out there that I don't even know how to log into. So just make sure you choose the current one. Or, I was going to say something else, but I can't remember.
Or email.
Or email is perfectly fine. Whatever it is, just let us know. If you're on Spotify, there's a little thing like, what do you think of the episode? And you can put in there.
Yep.
Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We are going to be doing an interview coming up soon, a nutrition one. So we'll get, and we'll be testing the nutrition.
Yeah.
Kelvin Yip has created this new nutrition. We'll be testing it. He's posted it today. So hopefully we'll have it to test on Saturday. So we'll bust out the Insta 360.
So we're really putting pressure on ourselves to figure it out. If we're going to keep filming.
Yeah, we're going to have all this
without
footage.
knowing how to edit it properly. So we're really putting the pressure on.
Oh God help me. All righty. So let us know anything else you'd like to know, or if there is someone you want us to interview. We don't do a lot of interviews, but if it's particularly special, we will. Yeah. All right. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. And thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Bye-bye.